Hey guys, AJ with Relentless Racing. Welcome back to the channel. Project Silver has been to 3 track days and I skipped filming some mods. So in the next few vids, we're going to cover various track mods. Today's video, we're going to talk about ARP Extended Studs. Your MRS will experience much higher stresses on the track compared to the street. These stresses combined with aftermarket wheels and tires will put your OEM wheel studs at risk for failure. The ARP Extended Studs are not only longer, but also much stronger, and combined with the proper wheel lugs will provide more thread engagement. Enjoy the video. Here's the Koenig wheel with the factory studs that are in it. You can kind of see that there's not a lot of engagement. I'd like to see this guy come through this really small lug nut right here. So let's take one of these things off and see what it looks like. Here you can see I removed one of those lug nuts, and there's not very much engagement or stud that's coming out of there. So this is a perfect candidate for putting on ARP Extended Studs. So here are my wheel lugs. Notice they're a lot longer. They're threaded quite a ways through them. And you can kind of see inside that there's quite a bit of thread engagement. Look at how long that wheel lug is. Let's take it off and take a look at what the stud really looks like underneath. And check out this ARP Extended Stud. Notice that the stud sticks way out. So this allows you to either stick on a spacer, or it accounts for thicker sections of the wheel, so that way you can actually grab onto it with a lug nut. So that looked pretty easy, releasing these caliper bolts right here, but sometimes they spin. So what you need to do is you need to hang on to this nut right here. It's actually not a nut, but you need to put a wrench on here. So sometimes you can't get a 14 wrench on there. So what I'll use is, I'll use a thin wrench that looks like this. Look how thin this guy is. She just fits right in here. That'll hold it, and it's actually part of the slide. And then you could release this guy right here. So just keep that in mind, and that's kind of a pro tip for you guys. So getting these studs out can be challenging if you don't understand that there's a relief in the back. If you try and push this stud out in this direction right here, you're going to run into this guy. But what Toyota did was they put a relief right here, so that way you could actually fit in the studs without removing the hub. So anytime you want to remove one of the studs, you got to position it so that way it's right here with the relief. Push this thing out, and then you could put a new one in this direction as well. Here's the tool that I'm using from Lisle. It's essentially a little block, and it has a bearing on the back of it. So all you do is you put the stud on, put this thing over it, and then you put your lug nut on here and you'll pull it through, and this thing will spin for you. And this is the proper way to put them on. I know people have done it differently, but this is the proper tool to use. And it makes sure that you don't mess up your hub or mess up your extended ARP stud. Here are the studs that I'm using. I already took one out of here. They're sold in packs of 5. And there's the part number right there, 100-7715. It's for the Lexus IS300. So you can get 4 of these guys and you'll end up with 4 extra like I have here. So let's get started. put all this stuff back together, it's really simple. All you have to do is do what we just did in reverse. This next section wasn't filmed on Project Silver, but on another MRS, so you may not see the extended wheel studs. But it points out some stuff you may run into, and hopefully this will help you guys out. First, put your rotor on, then you put on the torque plate. Now, if this section here with the pads is too fat and you can't get this guy on, you're gonna have to use a special tool to compress this guy right here. Before we depress the brake caliper piston, we're gonna open the brake master cylinder reservoir. Just like that. Careful not to get any dirt in there too. Here's that special tool. It's a Lang 279 and it's made specifically to compress this guy back inside, which is the brake caliper piston. And you just stuff this guy in here, and all it's gonna do is it's gonna expand and it's gonna push that guy back in. Kind of see it compressing right here. Look at this section right here. I'm gonna compress it all the way in till it won't go anymore. And then I'm gonna flick this switch right here and then flick it the other direction. There we go. Now it's gonna shrink a little bit. I can pull this thing out and look, she's compressed now. You can kind of see it's flush with this section here. Now it should be no issues slipping it over the brake pads. And look at that. Now we just got to put the bolt in here, put a bolt in here, and we're good. After you finish the brake caliper installation, make sure you close this guy. ARP Extended Studs are a great and simple mod that anyone can do. Stay tuned for more vids, and please subscribe and hit that notification button. This is AJ with Relentless Racing. Stay relentless, and I'll see you on the track.